And some of you may be interested in applying for bursaries or scholarships at our schools. And a bursary means that the fee is reduced according to your means. So you'll be asked details of your family income, and they will reduce the fee accordingly. The scholarship is given for merit, particularly in academic work and sport, where you will be required to do significant tests. But every independent school offers bursaries and scholarships, some on a very large scale. And if you want further details of that, you could have a look at my website, which is the Independent Schools Council website, where bursaries and scholarships are summarized to some extent. With catchment areas, we're talking mainly about state schools. So state schools all have a catchment area for children under the age of 16, and it is literally a line drawn on a map. If you go onto the school's website and look at the admissions section, it will define what all this means. And the answer to your specific question, Willow, is that in the case of a primary school, that's for children aged, let's say, 2 to 11, a state primary school in England, the catchment area can be as small as 200 or 300 meters from the school, literally just a few streets around the school. For a large comprehensive school, the catchment area could be 2 miles, but it can be less than that. So the catchment areas are small. So my point for Hong Kong parents is you've got to think about where you're going to live and where your child is going to go to school in the same breath. They are part of the same decision. So, if it was me, I would first of all find the right school for my child, or a school I quite like, and then try to acquire property near it. And that, although independent schools don't have a catchment area, it would be mad, I think, to require your child to have to travel a long way to school. I mean, if we take London, for example, London is a big city, but there are a lot of independent schools, and they are all really very good. And, it would be wrong to require your child to have to spend an hour traveling to school and an hour coming back, if in fact you can live near to a perfectly good independent school where the journey time might be only 15 or 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. So the catchment areas in state schools are small. The details are fully available to parents. Because the basics of education, the things which matter most, don't cost more than £5,000 or £6,000 per child. That's the reason. So if you look at the exam results of a good sixth form college, like the school that I set up, the London Academy of Excellence in East London, or you look at the exam results of a good comprehensive school or a grammar school, you will see that they are usually absolutely fine, and they can afford to run that school and employ good teachers for £5,000 per pupil per year. It's just that the class sizes will be larger, and so there will be less individual attention available, and the range of activities beyond the classroom will be much smaller in a state school than an independent school. But nobody should be alarmed by the fact that a state school is free of charge. They are required to teach well. They are all inspected, and you can see from. I mean, I suppose it would be fair to say that there are some state schools that are not particularly good. They're no doubt trying to improve, but they're not particularly good. There would not be very many independent schools that are not very good, because if they weren't very good, no one would go there and they would close. So that's the difference. I think the mistake that Hong Kong parents sometimes make is they just look at the league tables published in the newspapers. And those league tables rank schools by their exam results. But they don't tell you much about the quality of teaching at those schools. I mean, the schools at the very top of the league tables, they have thousands of applicants. They are highly selective. And that's how they get very good exam results. It's not because their teachers are the best in the world. It's because they're very academically selective. And there are other independent schools, as well as state comprehensive schools, which are in the middle of the league tables, but get absolutely amazing results for their pupils that have a wide ability range. So my plea to Hong Kong parents is do not be too influenced by the league tables.